Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of The Malik Show. I am your host, Malik Shabazz Sullivan. I'm so glad that you decided to come on and see us on tonight. Happy March, happy St. Patrick's Day, and yes, spring, come on, because we are so tired of winter. But on tonight, we have the beautiful, the one and only Amanda LYNN, which is seated to my right. Amanda, wave to our fans and viewers on tonight.
Hello.
But on tonight, Amanda LYNN is here. She's live. She will be in a special interview and live performance on tonight. But just before we go to Amanda on tonight, we just have a hot topic that is buzzing, that's killing. And yes, I got to talk about it. But before we go to Amanda, I want to draw your attention to this gentleman right here. Producer, take us to the first. There he is. We all know him. We listen to his music. We've been fans of him for years. Well, for me, I can just say since what, 12, 13 years old. R. Kelly is one of a kind, Chicago's own. One of a kind, one of the best singers, R&B singers that I personally have ever listened to. But R. Kelly is in a mess, and yes, some of us, we know about it, wasn't born yesterday, but on tonight, we are, let's just say the past is coming back to the future. R. Kelly was been charged and tried on videos and pictures in unlawful sexual acts with minors. And as we all know, he has been convicted. He has been charged with having sex with underage girls and dating and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? We have some new information that you might have not even heard. But just a little bit. I'm not going to read a whole lot. We do want to get with our special guest on tonight. But 2019, brand new year. I think it all started, Lifetime did a documentary series on the artist, R. Kelly, which is called Surviving Kelly. And I even personally saw it. It was interesting. They basically was saying that, you know, he was dealing with these young girls. Some of them were teenagers, some of them were underage, and so on and so forth. And of course, he has been charged with molestation, sexual misconduct, and so on. We saw a video clip, producer, gear us up. He did a video with Gayle King, and we just want to play that on the Malik Show on tonight. So at this time, our producer is going to show us that video clip at this time.
Say this. I had 2 cases back then that I said in the beginning of the interview that I would not talk about because of my ongoing case now.
Okay.
Right? Okay, fair enough. But I will tell you this. People are going back to my past, okay? That's exactly what they're doing. They're going back to the past, and they're trying to add all of this stuff now to that, to make all of the stuff that's going on now feels real to people.
But the past is relevant with you with underage girls.
Absolutely no, it's not.
Why?
Because for one, I beat my case.
But I'm not talking about the one case in which you were acquitted. I'm talking about the other cases where women have come forward and said, R. Kelly had sex with me when I was under the age of 18. R. Kelly was abusive to me, emotionally and physically and verbally. R. Kelly took me in a black room where unspeakable things happened. This is what they're saying about you.
Not true.
These aren't old rumors.
Not true. Whether they're old rumors, new rumors,
why would they
future
say this
rumors,
about you?
Not true.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
how stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were holding.
That's stupid, guys. Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, Oh, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
Robert,
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me.
Okay, wow. That was taped March the 6th. Gayle King did an amazing job with that interview, and she was very patient and unbothered, as you saw her gestures. But again, by seeing that, R. Kelly denies it, and I'm gonna just leave it at, I'm gonna say what I have to say on it. My heart goes out to this artist. This is very serious. These are very serious crimes, and my thing is, these women are coming forward saying, yes, R. Kelly did this to me. As of right now, the judge is set at $1 million bond and ordered Kelly to have no contact with any minor under the age of 18. And also, he, as of right now, is under watch and going through some, I think his next trial court date is in April. But like I say, for more information, you can go on to the Malik Show on Facebook and Instagram and read more about it. R. Kelly, keep your head up. Our prayers are with you. Moving forward to our special guest on tonight. I am so blessed to have this beautiful young lady here with us, the one and only Amanda LYNN. Amanda, I'm going to read her bio, and we're going to go straight on in. She has a video that had just blessed my soul, and I can't wait to play it. But here is what I have on Amanda on tonight, and our producer can go to one of her pictures. Oh, that's her. Oh, look at that. That's so nice. Well, let's leave it right there because you got to start somewhere.
That hair.
Amanda LYNN, national recording artist, was born on October 14th in Tyler, Texas. Is making waves in the gospel industry with her fresh sound, blending gospel music with the smooth rhythm sounds of R&B. Signed to 3HP Records, Amanda has been busy working with the one and only, the likes of Fred Hammond, Michael Braxton, as in Tony Braxton's brother, Taylin, former lead vocalist of the Atlantic Star, as well as many others. She was recently nominated in 3 categories for the VOGMA Awards. She continues to spread her love for music and the Lord to audience around the globe. Singing in Nothing New for the Bright Individual. She has been singing her whole entire life, church, school, which all have led up to opportunities with many greats, such as Fred Hammond, contributing to his Festival of Praise for Tour, Uncle Fred album, and others as well. She is blessed to be a part of the upcoming movie, The Choir, that she is currently in production. In 2018, Amanda LYNN's talents was displayed on the BET Soul Train Awards official VIP CD with her song Separation Anxiety. Was featured on Michael Braxton's new hit Dance the Night, along with a collaboration with former Atlantic Star lead LYNN on a powerful rendition of the popular Do You Hear What I Hear during the Christmas season. Currently, Amanda LYNN is working on her debut album, Journey, set to be released this spring, exhibiting the self-exploration of the overcoming obstacles, growing in the Lord, and the transformation into your purpose. This is the best showcase in her hit single, Better, releasing during the Stellar Awards in Las Vegas this month, March 2019, which is 2 weeks away. Catch her one of her upcoming events, including multiple showcases during the Stellar Awards week. Most notable, Stellar Best Showcase as a feature artist, shows on the Praise Factor Tour, which is the summer of this year. And Runways with Rocka, runway shows coming to many cities across the nation, and appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Showcases with Usher and on the ABC show, The Platform. All right, Amanda. Well, reading all of that, you have definitely started out. You had to start somewhere. But before we get into your childhood, which is where we're going to start, we have a little video that we want to show when you were just a child. And at this time, our producer is going to show that video at this time. Well, we had a little technical difficulty right there, but hopefully we'll get a chance to replay it before the end. I mean, the end of the show, because you know Amanda still has to sing and stuff for us on tonight. But Amanda, let's go to your childhood. Let's talk a little bit about, and as I tell everybody, and here's another beautiful picture that we're seeing on tonight, your childhood. So tell us, who is Amanda LYNN?
Oh man. Well, currently I'm a gospel recording artist. I do gospel with, I'd say, like a flair of R&B. I really kind of want to hit a mass market, kind of stretch it a little farther than just the gospel realm. You know, try to reach people that normally wouldn't maybe go purchase a gospel album or go look for certain songs. You know, give them a feel that they're used to, maybe on the secular side, that gives them a positive message. So it's kind of where I'm going with what I'm doing musically. Me, I mean, I love to sing. It's like everybody. I have my whole life. My family sings. I've sang my whole life. So this just feels like a natural thing for me. So
awesome. So October 14th, Tyler, Texas, the day you were born. So let's talk a little bit as far as, you know, from a child, you know, did you, I mean, I know as we were trying to see the video clip, you were, you know, singing and had your microphone and all that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit about that, and how was that, you know, for you and growing up?
Everybody in my family sings, like my grandparents, my parents, my brother, like my brother's in this picture here. Okay. And in the little video, it's hard to see because it's a really old video, but he was playing a guitar, and now he's like a fabulous guitar player. And my child sings, everybody. So I don't know that I really like learned to sing. You just kind of start singing and it just happens. So I've sang duets with my mom, my grandma, my great grandma. Grew up in school singing, in church, everything. So.
Okay. Now, being a Texas girl, now I know you can talk about any other state. Now here's another picture that we see.
That's my grandma, my mom, me and my daughter.
That's such a four generations.
Yes.
4 generations. So we're going to talk a little bit about family, because family is real important on the Malik show. Let's talk about just your family a little bit, as far as, you know, the singing, the upbringing, and, you know, everything.
Yeah, I was raised in church my whole life. My grandparents were music ministers at their church. It was a small church, and then we kind of grew to a bigger church, and super musical church. So I got to travel around. I went to lots of conferences. I sang with Carmen. Our whole choir sang with Carmen, Donnie McClurkin. I mean, the whole old school group way back in the day. So, yeah, I've kind of been around it a while, and I had a really awesome youth pastor that was real into gospel. So I sang a lot of, you know, that a long time ago, and so it's kind of really come back around. I think it's awesome.
Well, I tell you what. Here's my next question. Speaking of traveling and stuff, now as far as your education of it, were you able to like go to school and graduate and college and so on?
I started college in College Station, went to school there for a year, and then decided, because I'm real quick, I like to change all the time. I like change. So I got this whim to be a hairdresser. So I actually went and became a hairdresser, and I loved it. And I've done that for 13 years. And then I was married, had my child. My husband passed away 4 years ago, actually, like a week or so ago. And that was, you know, that was a definite change, because he was the one that had all the insurance, things like that. So I went and worked for heart doctors. He actually had a heart attack. So it's really interesting learning about all of that and, you know, everything like that. So then I met somebody through that job that kind of turned all the music into it. So it's funny where you find your your doors. You know what I'm saying? You would have never thought.
I know what you mean. Well, it's good to have a good, strong family backbone. So, how are you and your family today? Like, are y'all all connected?
Oh yeah, we're very connected. I mean, we talk all the time. My mom always, like, she messaged me before I got here. Oh my gosh, sing pretty. You know?
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're gonna move on to our next picture because, like I said, okay. So, Amanda, we definitely see this beautiful picture here. Now, let's talk about this next question is, how and where did musically begin with you, as far as, how did you connect, or what happened? I mean, what's the experience?
I think music has always been a part of my life. Like I said, I can't remember ever not singing. It's funny, when I was very young, probably back in the video, I was shy as all get out. I was like a under the dress leg hugger. I'm not getting on the stage. I know every word of the song. I go to every practice. When it's time to sing, I sat on the front row. And I didn't sing one note. And then my mom, we got asked to sing at a Mother's Day thing. My mom's like, do you know my child? She's not gonna sing. And then my mom said, like, the night before, a day or two before, I came to her with this song. And so I ended up singing with her. I actually got up there. She sang harmony with me. I kept my part. And they asked me to sing the next day in church. And my mom again is like, do you know my child? You're lucky she sang once. So I ended up singing, got a huge standing ovation, jumped off the pew, and was like ready to go. And from then it was never an issue. So that was where kind of like that kind of jump started. I always sang, but that's where I got like the confidence.
And you
to
know
sing.
what church is well, I was born and raised, and have you heard of the Church of God in Christ? Oh yes, I'm definitely gonna let them know. Y'all need to bring you to our church, because we would love to have you. But it's good to be in the church though, singing and stuff. I mean, where else could you get your start from? More than likely. But here's another picture I want to talk about. Another. Yes. Now, as I will say this, I have 5 favorite gospel artists to this day that's my favorite, and one of those 5 is this brother right here. 2007, I was just on YouTube and listening to different, music, and when I heard his music, I was like, wow, this brother can minister, and so on and so forth. Let's talk about you and the one and only Fred Hammond.
Oh, I love Fred.
Let's talk about, how did you guys meet? The connection and everything.
Actually, it was with the job where I was working for the doctors. One of my coworkers, she was like, oh, you have to sing with my husband. I was like, okay. So I sang for him in the front lobby. He's like, okay, I got this, singing thing. So we did some singing with him, and then that's where he knew Fred from that. And I got into that during the Festival of Praise this last year. We did all the recording for that. Man, that was a job. But it was so cool, because you learn a whole lot of like how much it really takes to just do one little thing. I mean, it takes some time. But it was fun working with him, and then from then it steered on the Uncle Fred album, Push Me Lord. I'm on that, do backgrounds on that, and then recently Tell Me Where It Hurts is the one he just recently put out, and we just did the music video. I mean, I was a part of that, so that was really fun. And when we were recording that, he calls me over, hey, come here. I got a part for you in my movie. You want to be in my movie? And I was like, yes, of course I would love to do that. So he's just like a big old teddy bear. He's really sweet. But it's fun working with people that are like really seasoned, because you get a lot of like knowledge from them. And he's just a down-home guy. I mean, just a regular old person. So I had fun.
Awesome. It's good to connect with people like that, especially, artists and celebrities and stuff. It's good, for that. Yeah. But here is another picture. This is a good friend of mine in the area. And he was just here in January, and actually when I told him that you were coming in March, he said, "Oh, she's gonna blow you away." I said, "Okay." But let's talk about you and the one and only DMV's own Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, Isaiah's great.
How did you guys connect and everything?
I met him when he taped the Platform. I had done it the time before, and then I happened to be here when they were doing that taping, so I got to go, and we just connected and hit it off. So that's my buddy. I love him too. He's very creative and has a lot of music fabulousness going on in his head. So, you know, if you can work with somebody like that, Stellar nominated, I mean.
Yeah, we just found, actually in January, because he really kicked off 2019 for us. He definitely said he was nominated, and you know, I said, well, congratulations. And he definitely said, if you can go to every Church of God in Christ national meeting, you need to come to the Stellars. I said, you know what, Isaiah, one of these days I will set $300 or $400 to $500 to the side, and I'll come to Vegas and be a part of Stellars. Because I be watching it. It'd be off the chain, though. Yeah. Off the chain. Yeah. We're going to move on to our next picture here. Yes, Amanda LYNN. Amanda, here's my next question. Like I said, we're 7 minutes into our first segment of the show. I want to talk about today's generation. And if you don't mind me asking, what is your age, if you don't mind me?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm 33.
Wow, you young. Well, my thing is, at 33-year-old, what do you have to say about today's society, today's generation? And what I mean is, everything is changing. And what I mean by as far as the gospel, you know, what do you have to say about the generation? And as far as where do you think gospel is going? And for yourself, where do you see yourself positioned? I mean, I'm like I say, you got the Stellar Awards. I mean, do you see, you know, bigger promotions and platforms and stuff?
I really think that the millennials are necessary to what we're doing now. I think they're very quick. They're timely. Like you used to could kind of take your time with things. They're like one day this and the next day something else is important. So I feel like you have to really move swift. I feel like kids, everything's so easily accessible nowadays that they just, I don't know. I again want to put my music out there that gives them the sound that they're used to hearing. Like I said, most teenagers like all the secular stuff, and it's a little harder of a market to appeal to if they're not into it. So that's why I want to give them the sound that they're used to and give them a positive message, because, you know, some songs are not as appropriate for younger kids, but yet, you know.
The secular music, yeah. I mean, I just feel secular music such as names like Ricky Dillard or, I'm just trying to give like an example, because I just feel like his music is hip, get you moving and all that kind of stuff, versus, I'm trying to think of like an artist, someone older. It's like with the millennials, they like that hip stuff versus that old stuff, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you really have to be in tune with what they are, what they're into. I just worked on a song recently that's like kind of an old hip-hoppy sound, but it's like new, and everybody that hears it just starts jumping and bumping, and I kind of want that to like spread so that they, again, they're doing their dances to that, and they're doing this, and so it's not just,
oh, here's another good question I want to ask you. Producer, you go to the next picture. Yes. What do you have to say about the secular gospel music coming into the church? And what I mean by that is, this is what I know as a 27-year-old. The Clarkses, I'm sure you know, aware of them. They were doing music secularly, and of course they have pretty much, you know, I guess the church was not for it. I mean, the world was, but certain songs the church really wasn't, you know. But my question to you is, what do you have to say about the secular and the gospel coming into the church? Because I'm sure the church is, there's strict holiness. What a friend we have in Jesus, amazing grace. And, you know, you got artists, and I'm going to say this, 50% of the artists right now, names like Dietrich Haddon, Ricky Dillard, Jonathan Nelson, they're secular, you know, Vashawn Mitchell, you know, J.J. Harrison, you know, just throwing names out there. They are secular gospel artists, so you know.
As far as crossover, I mean, that's what I'm doing as well. So I feel like it's necessary. I feel like sometimes, even in church, not necessarily just gospel, we get so stuck in our bubble that, you know, it's like all these people, like you're preaching gospel to gospel people. We know this. Like God says to go out and reach all. So I feel like, why would I not take the platform that's given to do that? And that's why I'm doing that. And, you know, I mean, and everybody else who does it, like, I mean, secular coming over, I mean, it is what it is, but it does bring awareness. I mean, you can't, I mean, like a Snoop Dogg. It's kind of out there. I mean, you'd be like, okay, gospel, all right. But I mean, it was huge. So, I mean, I got to give props to people when they do it. I mean, I feel like you got to live the life. Yeah, you got to live the life and be that. So, there's a little background on that. But, you know, I'm all for it. I have no problem with it. I mean, if you bring the right message and you really have good intent behind it, I think it's different than if you're just doing it just to do it.
Awesome. Well, here's my last question. We're in the last 2 minutes of our show, but catch us on part 2 of Malik's show live. Amanda will give us 2 of her performances, and we'll talk more about her singles. Amanda, my last question to you is, and I say this to all of my guests that has came on, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? I mean, you're 33, so 43, which is 10 years from now. Where do you see yourself at and accomplished within the next 10 years?
I mean, I would love to be a severely established artist where that could just be everything that I do. I love music. I feel like it's all intertwined in everything I do. So, I mean, of course, I would love to make that my permanent career. I mean, gosh, 10 years. In my last 10 years, so many things have changed that I'm just here for the ride. And, you know, what comes, comes. And like I said, so many surprises has come in the last 10 years that I never would have thought. So give me the next 10. I'm ready. Let's do it. So.
All right. Well, before we close out, Amanda, I want you to, I know you're going to sing, but for this show, I want you to just bless us with a sermonic solo, as we say in Kojic. But one of my favorite songs is If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle. I know you know that song.
If only you knew how much I do to love you.
Wow. Oh, well, we're in for part 2 because she's going to bless our souls. But 40-some seconds into our show. But Amanda, thank you for being on this first segment of the Malik Show. I've enjoyed it. But yes, catch us for part 2 of the Malik Show live. Amanda LYNN is live. She'll be singing 2 of her singles, and we'll be talking more about it, where you can purchase the singles and so on and so forth. And again, this has been an amazing first part of the Malik Show. Amanda, I look forward to part 2 and of you just blessing the show with your voice.
I'm excited.
Excited. Well, thank you all for watching this first half of the Malik Show. I am your host, Malik D. Shabazz Sullivan. Come back for part 2. Amanda LYNN.